Okay, I will begin now. This is a live about Wetiko, and I will begin with this. This is for entertainment purposes. This is all under that banner. Take what's useful, discard what's not. Wetiko is a mind virus named by Native Americans the Western disease. But at this point, the Western mind is no longer confined to the Western. It's in the Eastern, it's everywhere due to social media and how our world works. So this originally Western disease is now everywhere. Some terms that make up Wetiko are the rat race, dog eat dog world, win-lose paradigms, scarcity mindset. These are all aspects and energetic dynamics of Wetiko, the mind virus, which perpetuates suffering of humanity in many different forms. It distracts you from cultivating your soul. That is one of the final things it does. It's been called the sickness of exploitation in the past. Overcoming Wetiko in your own life is similar to how Neo awakens in the Matrix and begins developing his abilities. It frees up so much energy when you are not getting it stolen from you by these insidious dynamics, because there are many within this matrix that we live in. Understanding how Wetiko works and identifying it throughout your day will benefit your life in many ways. You can more effectively avoid distractions and hindrances. Your relationships will improve. You'll make better decisions from a clearer state of mind. You will be happier. You can be a better guide to your friends and loved ones and anybody that you interact with. Your projects, businesses, skills, hobbies, everything that you do will improve as a result of becoming aware of how Wetiko works and mitigating its effects in you. It's necessary to understand how it operates because it's an extension of the darkness or ignorance, if you want to call it that. You can also think of it as Agent Smith, again referring to the Matrix, because it kind of operates like that. Well, it does operate like that. Your ego is a route to being possessed by Wetiko. It does this, if you want to map it out more specifically, it does this through the 7 sins. Watching my Spiritual Matrix playlist on my channel can help you understand how this enemy operates within this spiritual matrix. I recommend that after this video because we all live in it. Anytime you're unconscious, you can be used as an instrument by Wetiko. This is why it's very important to cultivate mindfulness. Mindfulness is linked to stillness, being in Zen, having a Zen mind, flow state. These are not just simply different terms for the same place. They might take you to the same similar place, but they are each separate routes. And the more of them that you understand and combine at the same time, you can say the closer you will get to enlightenment, or the more powerful your mindfulness will be. But it's very important to be aware, because when you are aware of your own subconscious dynamics, Wetiko and the many different tactics that it uses cannot lead you down the wrong neural pathways as easily. Wetiko can be thought of as one of the devil's generals or lieutenants, or even Ahriman. Different cultures and religions and myths have talked about it in different ways. It can be, I am referring to it as the devil's general or lieutenant because it's not so much the overall evil, but it's a major aspect of it and how this ignorance perpetuates in humanity. It's the mind virus that infects us mentally and emotionally, and where attention goes, energy flows. So therefore it affects us spiritually as well, because it prevents us from developing spiritually. It prevents you from doing the things that you are supposed to do or that you want to do as well. And that takes away from you, from your life, from anybody that you can benefit and touch, because we're all connected at the end of the day. So when you don't do what you're supposed to do, you affect other people as well. And like how in the Matrix, in the Matrix, Agent Smith wants everybody to be asleep. That's like a message referring to this dynamic. I don't know if it's done on purpose or not, but it's very fitting, because this is one of the major ways worldwide how all our energy is siphoned off, and we are distracted and compelled to partake in so many things that don't matter and have nothing to do with our dreams or our purpose or what we would really like to do and would better ourselves. When you see people driving and they have road rage, this is an aspect of this. If you go inside of a crowded place, let's say a mall, or if you go to like a huge music festival or something, or like some place where something that's like materialistic and there's a whole bunch of people, everybody's being carried off by one certain mindset. It's kind of like crowd think or group think. This is similar to that, but it's everywhere and there's different aspects of it. The more you detach from it and you cultivate yourself, the more happier and more effective you will be in every single way. Ignorance, fear, the devil, Satan, Ahriman are all different ways of describing the same enemy of humanity, which prevents the soul's evolution and perpetuates mankind's suffering. Wetiko is a mind virus that operates on the collective consciousness level. If anybody doesn't know what the collective consciousness is, you should look into that. Carl Jung talks a lot about it in his work, but it's like a psychological illness. And another aspect that is related would be, it's like a spiritual parasite or a parasite of the mind. It keeps you confined to low frequencies or negative habits and things, negative neural pathways, and it keeps you operating from that. And it does this on a collective consciousness level. So most people, this is a subconscious dynamic working through them, so they're not even aware of it. It's like they're zombies. This is like a real life zombie virus. But like when people say zombie, they think of like the slow, dead looking things that walk. This is like a real life thing. So they're zombies to the subconscious dynamic. They still have their intelligence. People aren't stupid, but their intelligence is used against them in an insidious way. That's also kind of like a trick of the devil, because the devil doesn't lie. He actually tells the truth, and he allows you to think. He leads you to assumptions that are the equivalent of lies, and then you carry it on in your own mind and you continue your own narrative. But it's kind of getting off topic, but it is linked in essence. I see a comment, Shuku Sharifi 9673, one eye-opening Let me see right now. Yes, this is a disease which is the result of humanity's spiritually disconnected path. That is one way to put this. It is true. And we need to all be aware of it and understand how this works so that we can take practical steps to fix it in ourselves. A practical step would be on the psychological level. Shadow work can help with this. It can shadow work from Carl Jung's work, shadow work, which is a psychological thing. Psychological technique can help you cultivate mindfulness, you will become aware of these many different subconscious dynamics that you are running off of, that you have built neural pathways around for most of your life probably, so that you can become aware of them and then change them. The more you do, the freer you will become. Becoming free of this is a major aspect of the real world matrix. It's a spiritual matrix that has many of its dynamics operating on the psychological and emotional level, which then affects your physical as well. There are more aspects to the matrix, but this is like one of the major things to be aware of. That's why I likened it to, that's why I called it, it's like the devil's general. It's not the devil itself, it might not be the main big devil, but it's a major key player of the enemy. And overcoming this enemy is a huge and necessary step to beating the overall enemy within. Because this is like waking up from the matrix. Then, you know, like in the matrix, after they wake up, there's other steps to take, but this is like waking up from it, a big aspect to it. But yes, thank you for the comment, Shuku Sharifi. If anybody else has any questions or any input, especially if you disagree or if you have any other aspect, I welcome it. I do not shy from conflict. So let it be known, speak your mind. Or if anybody has any input, agree, disagree, or even any other input that I haven't said about it or anything related, please comment. There are many people who talk about this. You can find it on YouTube, but Wetiko is a Native American term. It's a Native American thing. And I don't know of any books off the top of my head, but you can look it up on YouTube on other channels as well. And there are some books though, like Paul Levy is one person I think who spoke about it. And this applies to everybody, no matter what their beliefs are, no matter what their creed, religion, anything. This is a dynamic that is infecting all of us, that is a part of all of our collective realities. So just look into it. Look it up on YouTube, Shuku Sharifi. Somebody else's thing. Or one of Paul Levy's books. The more that you become free of Wetiko, this is like a process. It's not an overnight fix. The more that you become aware of these dynamics and then take the steps to create the habits necessary so that you don't get pulled into these insidious dynamics of our reality, the better your life will get, the more energy you will have, the more happier you will be, your purpose will become more clear, or you will define and create your own purpose, however you choose to view that. But this is literally probably the most important thing that people can do for themselves. Become aware of this mind virus, collective mind virus, and all of the ways that it operates, because it operates in a very insidious way and it has like possibly an infinite amount of tactics because it attacks everybody's psyche in a different way. It keeps you confined into it, into operating within it in a different way based on your personality, your own sins, because it operates through the ego, and that's why it's linked to the 7 sins. I'm not saying the 7 sins to be religious, but there is truth everywhere, including the Bible, and that is the part that is applicable here. The 7 deadly sins that are all linked to the ego, that are all linked to the lower nature, is all within the realm of this mind virus, Wetiko. So you need to become more and more aware of your own weaknesses that are linked to your lower nature, and anything that the enemy uses to manipulate you, lead you, pull you astray, distract you. This is how Wetiko operates. Oh, thank you, Sugar Sharif. I'm glad that you joined as well. This is very important for everybody to become aware of. You know, there's a lot of stuff happening in the world and everybody wants to do something about it, but one of the best things, the most effective things that you can do about it is to stop being a part of the problem. And when you are not operating at your full capacity and you are just being used as a slave and a hindrance to everybody else that is actually operating or trying to operate at their full capacity, then you are not helping. So this is like the main thing that is keeping most people worldwide stuck at a very low frequency and making choices and decisions and operating throughout their life in a very low way. So if you want to help anybody, help change the world, whatever, this is one of the most effective things that anybody can do. Fix yourself, because we're all connected as people. So every effect that you make within yourself, you will automatically affect everybody else, everybody that you see, your neighbors, everywhere you go. Just look into quantum physics and how energy works. It's all energy, and we're all connected. Our collective mind has been poisoned. Who knows when? Hundreds of years, thousands of years, I don't know. It doesn't matter so much when. The solution is mindfulness, become aware, and then create the necessary steps. It leads up to spiritual level, but it's more practical to go about it from a psychological level for some people. If anybody else has any questions or comments or disagreements, anything, please comment. You guys can guide the topic of this conversation. I've said what I needed to say. You guys can input and help continue, perpetuate, or direct this topic. If there is no more input, then I will end this soon. But I will wait for now. Any input or questions, even if it's a specific way that it applies to you in your life, and I can give you some insight about it. Every day, you will become either more free of this mind virus, or you will become more enslaved by it. How this world is set up, from the moment we're born, we become more entrenched into it. So when you become aware of it, it's imperative that you begin taking the necessary steps psychologically, emotionally, physically, even spiritually, to free yourself from this dynamic more and more every day. There's probably nobody that is completely free of it currently. But there are many people who are more free than others. But we're all still stuck in it. So the more that you become free of it, the happier you will be, and the more of a benefit you will be to not only your own people, but to everybody else as well, because we're all connected as humanity. That's one of the truths that you cannot escape. And this same truth is being used against us by Wetiko, because we're all connected. So it's like the well of the collective consciousness has been poisoned and continuously fed a narrative or a drug. So everybody is operating on that same lower frequency. This is why you need to unplug from that and build yourself up. Okay, if nobody's gonna comment anymore, I'm going to end this soon because I already said what I needed to say. Oh, thank you. And that is a good service. That is a service to humanity as well, to share this with many people, because the more people know about this, the better. This is possibly, likely one of the most important steps that we could take as humanity right now, currently, everywhere in the world, to become aware of this dynamic and escape it from within first. Because it's really that's where it starts, as within, so without. That's true. It's a true law right there. As within, so without. Thank you all who participated, liked, comment, whatever, even if you just watched. Share it, because people need to see this. And if you see it, you need to take steps. You should take steps to free yourself from it. You will be happier and better off in your own life. And you will help everybody else as well by just taking those necessary steps, because we're all connected.